So today is our last day to work on cell transport. And you've taken notes on both passive and active transport. You've done a lab modeling osmosis. And so we're going to spend some time to look at some case studies. You're going to be working in a partner. And I'd like for this to be the partner that when you turn and face inside on the rows, that's who you are partners with. Today you're working with assigned partners. Mr. Majancy is going to be passing out a piece of white paper to you. When you get that, please go ahead and title it Cell Transport Case Studies. Remember, we're trying to really keep up with all of our assignments, and so it's important that you title it Cell Transport Case Studies. You and your partner are going to be working through these cell transport case studies. There are 5 of them to work on. And so you and your partner are going to have 25 minutes. So that's about 5 minutes per case study. So you want to make sure that you're really keeping on top of it. And if you need help, that you're asking for help. Each of these case studies is going to ask you to first draw a diagram of the situation. So each of your case studies is going to start by drawing a diagram. So if we have the euglena and it's surrounded by water, I would need to label this water and label this the euglena. And then it's going to ask me to label the inside of the euglena as having a high or low water concentration. Well, how do I know? I have to go back to the text or the problem. Here's the euglena, this is your text that you're reading, and you're using this to get information. So please make sure that you're checking these off. Now you can't check them off because they're in a page protector, but first you draw a diagram, you label the inside, you label the environment, using an arrow indicate which way water will flow, and explain what will happen to the size of the euglena. So you and your partner are going to be working together to complete each of these steps for these 5 problems. Please make sure that when you indicate which direction water will flow, that you're noticing that we're only talking about water moving, that we can't have salt or sugar move because they're too big, they don't fit through the cell membrane. And so you've turned in your quiz corrections today, you did a journal entry, you worked on your apps or took your notes, and now you're working on these cell transport case studies. The very end part of today is actually going to be where you're going to finish up your lab. And so you might want to pause this video, and then we're going to go back to the lab. If you look at the lab, the very end is actually asking you to create a model to represent your case study. And so what you want to do here is you want to actually describe the model. You want to describe the model. Just like we gave you those scenarios, you want to describe the model and draw a picture, just like the case studies. So you'll be going back to your lab groups to describe exactly what was happening with the potato. Your case study, remember, is the potato. And then you're going to evaluate a model. Record the sample model for case study 1 here. Use the principles of cell transport to evaluate if this is a correct representation. So now you're going to be evaluating, did what I see happen, was that a good model for cell transport? At the end of today, you're going to be taking one more check your knowledge quiz, so make sure that you have finished up your lab in time to do that.